Hello, I'm Jim Morningstar, Director of Transformations, and your guide through this 8-session advanced practicum and apprenticeship in community building. The focus of this 5th class is leading and modeling prosperity on all levels of your life as you build a community of prosperity around you and share the wealth with your world. We will apply the 4 laws of wealth to exercises and games of engagement that support the mutual growth of prosperity consciousness for all during this course and beyond. What is prosperity, and what is a prosperous community? Prosperity is the quality of living in abundance, which is a product of how we think and feel about our life. Carlos Castaneda, in his book, The Teachings of Don Juan, A Yaqui Way to Knowledge, relates how his shaman teacher, Don Juan, upbraided him when he deplored the lack of material possessions the children in Don Juan's small mountain village in Mexico compared to what the children in the United States have. His teacher pointed out the loving, nurturing community and spiritual resources these native children had was far more valuable than all the toys accumulated by children in many spiritually and culturally impoverished modern environments. So prosperity is relative to one's values. Wealth is the physical manifestation of our prosperity consciousness, and it's proportionate to the resources we value that are available to us. It's not measured by goods we've accumulated. The simple, heartfelt sharing that we have done on a daily basis in this class has created an exchange of feelings, personal stories, and lessons that are enriching to my life beyond measure. Social studies have shown that the wisdom that is generated by all sectors of a community together versus just the leaders or the formally educated or privileged classes is more accurate and effective in the welfare and success of all. There's a synergy that can come from a group of people working in concert for the good of all, even when, or maybe especially when, there's diversity of experiences and opinion. The power of the collective far outweighs the sum of the individual parts. That power must be directed by common consent, however, for it to be useful and uplifting. This is where the common intention, common practices, and common experience will produce coherence or chaos in a community. Although occasional chaos can also be important for flexibility and growth, so that the system does not get stagnant or in a rut. Let's tap into your intuitive knowledge about this with an exercise even before we explore community prosperity more deeply in this class. Take Class 5, Handout 1, Community Prosperity and the Earnings Law, and complete Section 1, Community Prosperity. A. I feel prosperous in community when. B. 3 ways I contribute to the prosperity of my community are. And C. 3 ways I'm willing to prosper more for my community are. Complete this and come back to the video. The Laws of Wealth. In the School of Integrative Psychology Creative Life Series, Seminar 3, Prosperity, we explore the laws of wealth. These are 4 time-tested major principles for building prosperity consciousness in your life. The laws of earning, spending, saving, and investing. In this class, we will apply these principles to the community building in which we are engaging in this course. The first law of wealth is the earning law, which states that all human wealth is created by the mind. Therefore, increasing the quality of your thoughts increases your income. The shorthand version of this law is work smarter, not harder. By harnessing the power of community intention and energy, everyone can prosper. Now, the mind has all sorts of limits and misgivings passed on from social and familial tradition, which dictate it's either impossible or immoral to have and enjoy prosperity unless you've worked harder or proved yourself to be more deserving than others. You may have encountered some of these limiting thoughts and feelings just in completing Section 1 of Handout 1. In writing how you are willing to prosper and be prospered by your community. Therefore, one of the most direct ways to remove barriers to prosperity in all your community groups is to deal with the limiting thoughts and the feelings which glue them in place in your psyche. Let's start with your life communities, that is, your family, social, and work groups. Take Handout 1, and in Section 2, the Earning Law, A, write 3 fears or limiting thoughts I have about being prosperous in my life groups are. Now, one life group may hold more fear or limitation than others, so pick the one, either family, social, or work group, that challenges you the most to focus on as you complete Part A. Let's go right at these pesky critters and write in Part B an affirmation for each of the fearful or limiting thoughts in Part A is. Now, use the 4 guidelines of making affirmations positive, personal, present, and practical enough so that you're stretched by them, but your mind does not totally disallow them. Complete Section 2 and come back to the video. Now let's go to your teaching group and be even more specific in the kind of prosperity you want in your teaching, whether it's a formal class or informally in your life, where you sense that your presence gives value. Take Handout 1 and in Section 3, Teaching Group, A, complete 3 kinds of prosperity I wish to increase in my teaching group are. Now, this could be, for example, in a formal class, numbers of students I have, money for my services, satisfaction my students derive. For an informal setting, it could be pleasure and comfort I have in sharing myself, number of friends who enjoy golfing with me, deeper sense of intimacy with my partner. These are all elements of prosperity, that is, living with a sense of abundance and joy, having resources of loving connections, pleasurable activities, health, and money. Then, in Part B, complete, what I'm willing to do to bring this about is. Here, list 1 to 3 thoughts, feelings, and/or actions you are willing to initiate or increase in order to achieve more of what you want during the next month, if possible, or at least in the near future. Complete Section 3 and come back to the video. Another old expression is, love is what makes the world go round. I'd like to suggest an extension of this concept. That is, love in community is what makes the world flourish and blossom. This is what I feel with you. And this is what I believe will attract like-spirited souls into your formal and informal teaching communities. Holding you in my heart as fellow travelers on the road home, I send and receive blessings for our circle and all sentient beings. Till next class. Blessings in light and love.